Yo, what's up? Solidus-T, the Ice God. What's up with y'all? Hope y'all having a nice little Thanksgiving or whatnot. But no, wanted to chop it up with y'all. This is sports edition. Chop it up with my fellow Timberwolves fans or just anybody in general who's a basketball fan, NBA fan. To be precise, my Timberwolves are struggling. But you know what? I gotta be honest. I know I was talking all that noise in them other videos. I kind of knew this was going to happen because just get right into it. Like, all right, the end of September comes, right? It's literally 3 days before training camp. They make that trade, y'all know. Because the thing about the cat stuff is, I'm starting to get irritated with these so-called fans, these so-called Timberwolves fans crying every time the Timberwolves lose in the comment section. I know I shouldn't really pay attention to the comment section, but it's really getting irritating now because every time the Timberwolves lose, they keep saying, oh, well, they should have never traded Cat. They should have never traded Cat. It's common knowledge why they traded Cat. The salary cap thing was too much. If they would have kept Cat due to the new CBA rules, the team would have lost millions and it would have basically ruined their financial flexibility to basically improve the team in years to come. No GM would want to do that. And to be honest with you guys, Cat is not really good enough. He's a good player, but he's not good enough to justify doing something like that. Because a lot of y'all got short-term memory. He's the reason why we lost in the Western Conference Finals. Everybody's blaming Gobert, but it was actually Cat. That's why when Cat finally got traded, I was kind of like, I low-key knew that Randall wasn't going to be a better fit, but I liked the fact that they addressed what was the main issue. Because if you go back to the Western Conference Finals, even though Kyrie was kicking Ant's ass, the Timberwolves were still close to win those games. They were still right there. The problem was Cat was not taking advantage of his mismatch. He's a 7-footer, got a 6'8" guy guarding him, and he's not taking advantage of that mismatch. So it let Dallas be able to load up on Ant. You dig? That spelled doom for the Timberwolves. You know, Cat shot them out that series. The first 3 games, he shot what, 4 for 32? Like, y'all should go back. Those that keep saying Cat, they should not never got traded. Y'all need to go back and watch Inside the NBA during that series. They were talking about it all through the series. The Shaq, Charles Barkley, they were talking about it all. The post game, the post game, the halftime report. They kept talking about it. Like, they probably beat Dallas if Cat does something different. He's just trying to shoot threes. PJ Washington is able to make him a low impact player, and it's like it hurt the Timberwolves. Then they keep saying Cat played good in the playoffs. Bro, he been in the league 9 years, and he just now finally had a high impact in the playoff game. Like, come on now. So it's like, but now all the people are in the comment sections crying because Timberwolves lost some games, talking about, oh, they should never traded Cat. Like, they probably still would have lost these games if Cat was here. They lost plenty of games like that when Cat was here. And we saw how trash the Timberwolves were when Cat was their top player before Ant-Man came there. Outside of the Jimmy Butler year before Ant-Man came, the Timberwolves were not a good team with Cat as their best player. And this is when Cat was younger and more in his prime. See, Cat's still young, but he's getting up there now. So I don't understand, or it's really frustrating when people get in the comment sections and they write about and they say, oh, they should have never traded Cat. Cat is not the answer. I don't think keeping Cat would have just somehow miraculously allowed Minnesota to be the best team in the West. I don't see that. You know. I think the problem though is they made that trade. So they traded Cat 3 days before training camp. Right? All right. So that trade happens. Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, they're there. All right. Training camp, media day, you're not playing any games, right? You're just basically talking, getting ready for the season, and you start practicing. You do training camp for what, 2-3 days, and then boom, that Friday you got your first preseason game. So now you're playing actual games now. Preseason, but they're actual games. Remember, Randall only played 1 preseason game. And if you did watch those preseason games, it kind of looked like Minnesota wasn't taking those games serious. It's preseason. So you can give them that excuse, right? Then the regular season happens. Then 2-3 weeks later from the preseason games, the regular season happens. They start playing real games that count. I think what happened, they realized this is not, I don't think this is going to work. The way Julius Randle's play style works and Dante DiVincenzo not really making an impact. They got him playing out of position. They got him trying to be a playmaker. He's not a point guard. They're making the same mistake with Dante DiVincenzo that they made with Shake Milton. And it's like, I think the players and the coaching staff probably realize, yeah, this is not going to work. It's not that we traded Cat. It's just the players that we got for Cat don't really fit what we're trying to do here. I think that's more of the problem than this just the idea of trading Cat. You know, because obviously if you don't have that salary cap issue, you don't trade Cat. We understand that. But I think it's the players they got back for Cat, not necessarily that they traded Cat. So I'm looking at that, and I think it's caused them to have no chemistry, and they're just not playing as good as they could. Their defense is suspect. Offense, there's no flow to their offense. Mike Conley has a wrist injury, so that's why his jump shot is not been good this year. Jaden is basically just Jaden. I'm not mad at Jaden because at least he plays defense and gets effort on that end. But yes, if he could average like 15 to 19 points a game, they would be much better, but he's not doing that. But not so much on Jaden. Rudy is still formidable, but offensively there's some issues there with him. You know, him not being able to catch clean passes and all that, or cleanly catch passes, whatever. That's an issue. But I think the problem is the way Julius Randle plays doesn't fit. Like him bringing the ball up the court, trying to ISO. This is the thing. Nobody should be bringing the ball up the court. If it's not Rob Dillingham, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, or the OG vet Mike Conley, if it's not those three players, nobody should be bringing the ball up the court. Anthony Edwards is a shooting guard. I don't know why the fuck somebody thought it would be a good idea for him to do this point ant thing. I don't know whose idea that was. Anthony Edwards is a shooting guard. He's an off guard. Most of the time, he should be playing off the ball, not dribbling, not bringing the ball up the court. He should be coming down the court, getting to a spot, move without the ball. Since he can shoot threes now, catch and shoot, or come get the ball and do an ISO. Not him dribbling the ball up the court, trying to initiate. He should never be trying to do that. That is not his strength. I don't know why somebody thought that would be a good idea. You dig? Julius Randle should never be bringing the ball up the court. Every time he gets a rebound, unless it's necessary and there's nobody back there, he should be looking for the point guard to come get the ball and bring the ball up. And he should be getting downhill, getting to a spot in the post or something. He's sitting here dribbling the ball up the court trying to play ISO. And most of the time when he plays ISO, he either gets stripped or turns the ball over. That's killing their offense. And then his defense is not as good as you would like. It's not that bad, to be honest, but he doesn't really contest as many shots as you would like, and he doesn't really get as many defensive rebounds as you would like. So I get the complaints there. But they're just not playing smart basketball. The coaching has been terrible this year. I don't know what's going on. Them comments that Ant-Man made yesterday, I respect it. Makes me even like him more because it shows that he cares. It shows that he's really trying to win and he actually cares. That's why I like that he said that. I actually agree with what he said. They are soft. They are playing like a bunch of little kids. They are being selfish. But when it comes to selfish, I think Ant-Man is being a little too unselfish. I want to see Ant-Man be a little bit more selfish in the fourth quarter. Like that game where they lost to the Kings and the Rockets, I think if he scores 5 to 7 more points in both those games, they win those games. It wouldn't have mattered if D Fox and Monk went off. They still would have lost because Ant-Man would have gave them like 36, 37, or if not 40, and they would have won. I think him kind of like trying to be unselfish and play more team ball. This is going to sound crazy, and some people might disagree with this, but there's a such thing as kind of overdoing it when it comes to being unselfish. Sometimes he kind of overdoes it. You know, I want to see him be a little bit more selfish. Like, I'm going to shoot more. Because one thing I noticed about Ant-Man, nobody can guard him one-on-one. I noticed that. The entire NBA. There's a few players that can give him a good challenge, that can make it tough on him. Like Christian Brown for the Nuggets. He kind of can make it tough on Ant-Man. Not saying he can lock Ant-Man down, but he gives him a good challenge. Sometimes Dylan Brooks, even though Ant-Man be cooking Dylan Brooks, but there's some games where Dylan Brooks, he plays good defense on Ant-Man. And who else? And then I want to say OG Anunoby. He plays good defense on Ant-Man. And there's one more. Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. Those four players, they typically play good defense on Ant-Man, even though Ant-Man still plays good. Other than that, nobody can guard Ant-Man. He's literally unguardable. He's even more deadlier now that he can shoot threes. So I want him to be a little bit more selfish and try to score more. And yeah, so I want to see him do that more. 29 points is good, but let's bump that up to like 37 or 38 points. And go ahead and get this win. I want to see him do that more. So I don't think Ant-Man is the problem. I think Julius Randle's play style just does not fit them. And like I said earlier, the reason why I was kind of happy with the Cat trade is because even though I like Cat, the problem with Cat is Cat's inability to take advantage of mismatches hurts the Timberwolves. And that's what these goofies in the comment sections are not saying. His inability to take advantage of a mismatch, that hurts Anthony Edwards. Because now teams are going to load up on Ant-Man and Cat's being rendered a low-impact player because he's not able to take advantage of a mismatch. That's what happened in the playoffs last year in the Western Conference Finals. They beat Dallas if Cat takes advantage of his mismatch. They beat Dallas. Because, again, even though Kyrie was kicking Ant's ass and Luka was cooking, Minnesota still had big chances to win those games. It was only Game 5 where Dallas really got him out of there. But the other games were very winnable for Minnesota, even with Ant getting cooked by Kyrie. Yeah, and if you go back and watch those games, Cat played a huge role in why they couldn't get over that hump. Because for some reason, he's shooting threes and bricking instead of taking advantage of his mismatch. You got a smaller guy guarding you. You take advantage of that mismatch, it forces Dallas to not be able to load up on Ant. Because now one of the big men's got to come guard Cat. Remember, Cat can shoot threes, so he's coming out of the paint on the perimeter. That opens it up for Ant. Now Ant-Man got more room. Now he can cook. Because nobody on Dallas could guard Ant-Man. They would have won that series had that happened. Or they would have, at the very least, took it to 7 games. So I get it. Randle does a better job of taking advantage of mismatches. But the problem with Randle is him trying to play iso ball does not work for the Timberwolves. They will continue to lose games they shouldn't lose if that keeps happening. I'm looking at Minnesota. I'm watching these games. They're literally losing games they should not be losing. And Randle's iso ball is a huge reason why. And their defense is sus. I honestly believe if they didn't have that Randle iso ball problem, they don't lose these games. They should not be losing to the Rockets. No disrespect. These are good teams, but let's be real. They should not be losing to the Rockets. They should not be losing to no fucking Sacramento Kings. They should not be losing to the Raptors. Like, come on now. This is ridiculous. But yes, Randle's play style, it's causing them to lose. And then the coach is not good. Dillingham has proven, even though it's just one game, but he showed great promise. Why are they not playing no more? I don't know. Why do they have Dante DiVincenzo trying to play point guard? I don't know. Like, the coaching is not good. Until Minnesota fix those issues or make a trade, they will continue to lose. That's all I got for now. Let me know what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.